Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my channel. I'm Carrie, and this is Weight Watchers with Carrie. If you've come over from other channels, welcome to my channel. And I want to thank Mindy over at See Mindy Mom for inviting me to do this collab. You cook once, eat twice. That is the name of the collab. And I am making a dinner. And then the next morning, we're using the same items pretty much for something different in the morning for breakfast. It's still pretty much the same kind of things. We're using our leftover items that are in the fridge, but we're having a dinner and then a breakfast for the next day using that same item. So if you're interested in what I am making, please keep watching. Be sure to also check out the other channels down below for some great recipe ideas.
We try to find our ways in life to give our hearts and soul a peace of mind.
All right, we are starting this sort of cook with me, but I do have a full cook with me on this video down below. So we have a bunch of different spices here, and then I have 1 pound of the 99% lean ground turkey breast. And this collab is the Cook Once, Eat Twice collab. And this is going to be like a breakfast version of this, and we're having breakfast for dinner tonight. So it can actually be a dinner as well. And then these are all the spices that are in this little cup here. So that is that. And then I do have a printable version, which I will link down below so you can get that printable version and print it out and keep it. This recipe is awesome, and it's a really good breakfast recipe. So I'm going to add my turkey to my pan here. I've been heating up my pan. Usually we'll mix it in the bowl with the spices, but I found that it turns out just fine sprinkling this all over and then just chopping it up. And I'm going to just chop this up. You keep mashing this up until it's all nice and mixed up with that, with the seasoning that I poured on there. See how finely ground this is looking? This thing does a wonderful job on that. Okay, my turkey is just about done, and I will show you what we're going to be making in just a few minutes. Okay, our first breakfast, dinner, actually in our case, breakfast for dinner, is going to be like a hash type meal. And what I have in here so far is just a little spray of the olive oil and a heaping quarter cup of red onions, or you can use sweet onions. Red onions is what I had chopped up. I have 120 grams of the hash brown potatoes from Ore-Ida, and then I have about a half of a red pepper. And that is it right now in here, and I'm going to let these cook up until they get soft. And then I'm going to add some garlic and salt and pepper. But for now, we'll leave it like it is, just letting it thaw up a little bit. And I'm going to give this a quick cover and just let it cook for a few minutes. Okay, I did about 7 minutes with the cover on it. It's starting to get soft and browning up just a little bit. I'm going to leave it a little bit longer with the cover off now and get some browning going on. And I did salt and pepper it. I'll be adding the garlic as soon as this gets done, and I'll put the garlic right in the middle and let it cook up a little first before I mix it in. So I added a teaspoon of garlic, and I'm just going to flatten this out here and let it fry up really well. And then I'm going to mix this all up together. This is definitely done. It's got some more browning going on, and everything is cooked through and soft. Okay, that is good enough. So we're going to mix that all up now with the potatoes. And then I'm going to show you the next step here. So we're going to add a quarter of a cup of the beans and corn that I made up actually we're going to add a half a cup. So about a half a cup of that. We're going to add a half a cup of our meat mixture that I just made. I'm not getting a full quarter cup, so a little bit more than that. Okay, so half a cup, a little bit more of those. And these things I usually always have left over in the fridge. So we're going to stir all of that up. And the corn and beans have been cooked previously, so they just need to get warmed up. And then the last thing we're going to add is 4 eggs into there, and I'm just going to crack them right on top, and I'm going to mix this all together. It's a super fast meal. I'm going to do that right now. I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so we got the 4 eggs in there, and now I'm just going to chop this all up, mix it all in here. And when those eggs are done, this is a finished meal. Bring you back when this is done and show you what it looks like. You're just going to keep stirring this until the eggs are done. Okay, Corey says this is pretty tasty. It was super easy to make though. And this is our dinner tonight. Breakfast for dinner. So we have just the 2 eggs, and it did make 2 pretty large servings. Could have maybe got 3 out of it. So I just tasted this, and I agree with Corey. It's really good. So the points on this is 2 points for the potatoes, the Oretta potatoes, and then 1 point for the 1/4 ounce of Asiago I have on top. 3 Smart Point dinner. Not bad, because it is a lot of food and it is really tasty. Stay tuned for our second meal using the breakfast sausage. So we had some peppers left over. I chopped up some of those, and I had some onions already prepared in the fridge, so I threw some of those in there. And we're frying this up. We're going to have a burrito for breakfast this morning. I'm going to add some of our beans and corn mixture and some of our breakfast sausage that we had yesterday. So this is the second part of our breakfast sausage meal. And this is how I'm starting it. And I'm going to add some garlic after this sautés for a while. And I sprayed a little bit of the olive oil spray in there. This will be our breakfast. I'll show you what I do next. I have this cooking for about 7 minutes. They are pretty soft. So I'm going to add a 1/2 cup each of my sausage, my breakfast sausage, and my corn and beans left over. Added that in there, and now I'm just going to get some eggs ready. We're going to put 3 eggs in here. I think that's all we're going to need, and that will be our breakfast. So I'm going to slap it on a burrito. I added 4 eggs because Corey's going to have 2 burritos, and then I added a little bit of garlic, stirred that all up, and this is it. I'll show you what the finished product looks like. This is what the finished product looks like, and it is really delicious. And this is 3 Smart Points, because there's 1 for the cheese, 1 for the hot sauce, and 1 for the wrap. I hope you guys enjoyed the recipes. We really enjoyed them. They were really tasty. It's something that I made that was a little bit different. I just kind of throw things together. I always cook like that. I just throw it all together. And I always have leftover something in the fridge. Like, we always usually have leftover peppers and onions, and we always have wraps, and we always have a lot of breakfast wraps for breakfast because you can make them really low points. And with the breakfast sausage, 0 points. You can eat that whole pound if you want to for 0 points. We used to add a teaspoon or a tablespoon, I think it was a teaspoon of regular olive oil, which you can do. It does help the consistency of it just a little bit, but we don't notice the difference in the taste at all. So we stopped adding that teaspoon of oil in there, so we can eat as much as we want of it for 0 Smart Points. It's a really great option to make breakfast or dinner ideas. So if you are interested in that, I do have a printable version down below, and I also linked the Cook With Me, as well as all of the other channels that participated in this collab. And thanks again, Mindy, for inviting me to do this collab. It was a lot of fun. We will talk to you guys for the next video. Bye, guys.
Along the street, how far you drifted.